What's up, guys? It's me, Roxy Lee. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of Roxy Talks. If you are enjoying my videos, please hit the subscribe button below. It is much appreciated. I want you to be notified when my videos come out so that you never miss them because they're just so valuable, okay? Okay, so today I wanted to talk about, I get asked this question all the time, and it really chaps my ass, but it's a reminder from the universe, and it means that I'm not being as vocal and out and upfront about what I'm doing as I should be. That question is, am I still doing music? Okay, the answer is always yes. Yes, yes, I am always doing music. I am a musician first, no matter, before anything. I'm like the caged songbird. Like, I have to get my voice out. That's the kind of person I am. So yes, I will always be doing music. I'm kind of one of those people that, like, I don't really talk about something that I'm doing until I'm like ready to show it, you know, because things don't always work out. So I hate being like, oh, this is happening, and then it doesn't happen, and I feel like embarrassed that I even told people. So I'm like a keep close to the vest type of person. So if you don't hear from me about music or things that I'm doing, it just means that I'm like working really hard on something. That happens to be the case right now. I'm working on a brand new album, and I'm so in love with it. So excited. I'm working with Malachi. You've probably heard me talk about him before. He's like my soul brother. And we met in Denver on 11/11/11. And we are still like super tight, like he's my family. Like, I love that dude. Like, I would do anything he ever needed from me, because he's like a really good person. He only gives of himself, and like, I love to align myself with people like that just have such great energy and are so positive and motivating for other people, and giving of themselves and giving of their gifts and their talents to other people. I like being around people like that because, obviously, like, you are who you hang out with. The people that you're around rub off on you. So I'm making it with this person that A, is very talented, B, means a lot to me personally as a friend, and C, like, we've been in each other's lives for a long time now, and like, we've kind of just like gone back and forth with our lives, and we're just at this moment together right now, and we're both kind of going through like a spiritual awakening and like newly discovering beliefs that we didn't have before, and just stuff that we're both sharing and going through at the same time, and it's all reflected in this album, because my purpose for creating this album is, I'm 70%, 7 out of the 10 songs on this album are about my cousin who passed away. And I call her my cousin, but it like makes me sad to say that word, because she was my sister. Like, we were together every freaking day when we were kids, like all day, every day, weekends, school days, at school together. Like, we were just always together. And, like our parents dressed us alike. Like, she was like my twin. She really was like my twin. Like, she was there. We're the same age. She was there always by me my whole life, doing the same. Like, to have that, a person that's like such a huge influence on your life. I mean, like, I feel like half of my personality is because I had this person influencing me so much in my life, and just to have that gone, like, that whole validation of who I am as a person, and memories I want to share from our childhood, and things like that, and things I'll never get to do, just as simple as like when I'm waiting on two couples at my restaurant, and it's obvious it's like two sisters with their husbands. That like fucking breaks me up, because it's like, a stupid thing, like, I'll never get to just like go on vacation with my husband and her husband, and like do the things that adult siblings do with each other, and like, I'll never know that person that she would have been. And anyways, off on that tangent. Anybody that has lost someone like that knows that, like, that feeling of emptiness that just will never be filled again. So this album is just like, I'm just dumping it all out. All of the music that I've ever made, most of it is not personal. Like, the majority of the stuff that I've put out and written in various bands and stuff you've never heard before, it's not personal. And for a really long time, I could not write from a personal place. Like, I just was, like, I felt like I was a storyteller, and I was giving advice or telling stories of things that I had witnessed or heard or seen and like felt, and things that I had gotten from the world from just watching it. And that's what I used to write music about. And this album is the first album I've ever written that is, well, it's only the second album I've ever written, but it's the first, like, any, like, 10 songs that are honest, start to finish, 100% honesty. And just like, this is me, these are my feelings. Like, if you don't like them, they're not meant to hurt you. You know, like, one of the things about this album that worries me a little bit is that, you know, like, this is my family. I'm putting out into words, onto music, how I really feel about the passing of my cousin and the aftermath of living life without her. And that affects a lot of people. And she was very loved by a lot of people. And, you know, sometimes I worry about the repercussions of putting so much honesty out there, but this is me. Like, if anybody knows how honest and raw and just I am, it's my family. So, you know, I hope that they understand that anything that is said in this album is not a judgment on anybody else. It's just really, it's my diary. I'm literally like, I have to get these feelings out of my body, onto paper, onto music, onto something, so they're out of this and they're alive somewhere else, and I don't know. I'm working through it. I've never lost a sister, you know, so this is the first time that I'm just dealing with it how I can deal with it. And I'm a musician. I am a storyteller. Of course I should be telling this story. Of course I should be sharing my feelings and getting them out in that way, because that's the most healthy way I can do it, is through music. I mean, for me, that's what I do. I express myself through music. So this album is a really big deal for me, but not in the way that my last album was, where I'm going to, you know, I don't want to there's no negative emotions being put into it. It's only love. I'm not putting any forced deadlines on it. I'm not putting pressure on it. I just want it to be beautiful. I just want it to reflect my soul, and I think it does. And, you know, it's dark, but it's really beautiful, and it's haunting, but that's, you know, that's who I am. I've always been, you know, I don't know why I'm haunted. Even before my cousin passed, like, I've always been kind of, like, you know, kind of fucked up in that way. Like, I don't think that, like, it's nothing bad enough that's, like, messed my life up, but, you know, I constantly am thinking about death and my loved ones dying and what it's going to be like when they die, and is this the last time I've seen that person? And, like, death has always consumed me my whole life. So if you hear that in my album, that's because it's the honesty coming out, and that's really me. And I'm really just like, oh, I'm so excited to put this record out. It's, like, so beautiful. Me and Malachi have just, like, like I said, we're on the same wavelength. So the beats that we're making together are just like, okay, listen to how messed up this is. So crazy. So Malachi, I had all my lyrics already written, which is another thing I don't do. Normally I get the music and then I write lyrics to what, like I said, I storytell. So I hear a song, I hear it a lot, I listen to it over and over, and I write a story based on what I hear, which is why it's not personal. For this album, I had already had, because I also write poetry, so I had already had all these poems written about this situation with my cousin. And so this is the first time I've ever come with like, oh, I have all the words. Like I didn't have melodies, no, nothing like that. I just have words for everything. And Malachi and I went into the studio and we started with the first song and we're making it. And he's like, what does this sound like to you? And I was like, you know what? This sounds like Havasu. I have a song called Havasu because that's where my cousin died, was at Lake Havasu. And so that's the opener. It was the first song we made. Okay. We make this beat and it's so dark. And I'm just like, I love that this song is called Havasu. So anybody that doesn't know is going to be like, oh, Havasu, that sounds like, yeah, Havasu. And then they like open it and it's like, just like pain. I love it. And so that was the first song we wrote, or the first beat we wrote. I was like, you know, I think this is Havasu. Like, I don't know why I didn't have like, I have to go home. I have to take the beats home and like work with them in my little private studio in order to really get the songs out. So I hadn't like worked with the lyrics. I didn't know that it was going to be that song. I was just like, let's save this as Havasu just because I have a feeling. So I go home, I take it to my home studio and I'm working it. And the fucking poems fit perfectly into the beat count, the rhythm, the cadence. Like if you're not a musician, if when you try to work lyrics into a song, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's hard and it sounds terrible and it just doesn't sound right. So to have something that was written completely separate, just like literally just like it was like they were written together and they were not. And I was like, wow, this is fucking weird. Like that one's done. Next, you know, next two songs we wrote, same fucking thing. And like, they're not the same structure. I didn't plan. One of them wasn't even, it's not true. He sent me a pack of beats. He sent me like 6 beats and I went through them. So these weren't even ones we had made together. Now that I think about it, the second 2 that we made were his beats originally. And they happened to fit 2 songs, completely different, written rhythmically, completely different. And they fit them like a fucking glove. And it's just weird. And every single song on this album, except maybe like 2 where I've had to like really like rework things, everything else has just like, I couldn't have written it by myself. Like, and these were not, you got to understand, like the beats came, the lyrics had been written, they're saved, they're by themselves, they're separate. I'm like, I have these lyrics, this is the subject matter. So we go in and we're like, okay, this, and this. He knows the whole story about my cousin. And we would just be like, okay, how do we feel today? And we're starting just fucking around with sounds. And then the songs that we come up with without trying, and then I take them home and I look through all my lyrics and I'll start with this set of lyrics and I'll start working it. Does it work? No. Does it? If it does, cool. Well, like the 4th and the 5th song, the first songs I tried, it just was weird. It just like kept happening. And so now we have this album, we're almost done, we have 9 songs done, where, you know, 7 out of 9 basically wrote themselves. Like these songs were written and given to me and implanted into us. And Malachi, I've spoke about him in another video, that he's a messenger. And I believe I am too, because I obviously have a message because I can't shut the fuck up. So these songs were given to us, and I just, you know, I really hope that they can not only help heal me, but even a little part of me, but heal other people too, because obviously loss is probably the worst part of the human condition, is losing the people that you love. I'd say I honestly don't think there's anything worse that happens to you when you're here, that everybody experiences, you know, that's completely universal. And so my hope is that it's not too personal, because, you know, honestly, at this point in my life, my career, like, I'm just making this for me. Like, this video is to help me heal. And if it helps other people, like, that's an added bonus, because I know how hard it is. And again, like, I want to offer myself as service, because I feel like I have a lot to give, and I tend to be reclusive and like a hermit person, and I'm not going to help anybody if I, you know, don't leave the house and won't talk to anybody, and like I'm super private all the time. So trying to break out of my shell, trying to go on social media again. I just like, oh God, I want to work on my music and get that outlet and feel that creative release that way, and not have to have it weighed against whether it has enough likes, like, or downloads. Like, the world that we have created is just, it's so hard to keep up with, and we're over here suffering while we're perpetuating it. You know, we're suffering from our own perpetuation of this constant need more shit, and I kind of fucking had it, you know? Like, I grew up in the 90s. Shit was cool back then. Like, you did things because, like, it mattered to you, not because it was cool on the internet or because it made you look good, or, you know, like, because your butt looked good from that angle. Like, you see pictures from the 90s, it looked ridiculous because that's not what we were worried about back then. I just, like, a lot of the decisions I made for my life, like, I'm going to be a famous singer, I'm going to do these things, were made back then when times were different, and they're not that way anymore. And I just, like, being a part of what it is now, no offense, is just not really interested in it. I'm really more interested in authentic life, real connections, real relationships. You know, if you meet somebody online, that's one thing, but, like, meet them offline too. Like, you like, the connection that you have with a person when they're in front of you is so much different than when they're on the phone or in a video, so, or, you know, in a text. So, music is life. You guys are amazing. Please subscribe. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to quickly tell you about a really special offer that I have, and this is strictly for my music fans and for those people who are interested in my brand new album that I have coming out. I just want to say thank you for always showing me love, for being there for me through the good and the bad times of my music career, and you know, just again showing love and sticking by me. I just really appreciate it, and I want to give you something special because I'm excited about what I'm creating and I want to share it with you. So if you want some really exclusive, never before seen or heard content that you can't get anywhere else except through my social media, please click the very first link in the comments. I'm going to ask for your email address, and then I will send you something really awesome that is super exclusive to my music fans, just as a token of my appreciation and to hopefully get you excited about what's coming, because I am super excited about it. Again, if you're interested, please click the very first link in the comments below.